Hello guys, this is Zoologist AK and I'm here to talk about the axis and pattern formation in case of amphibians, and this is my introductory part of this topic. So before understanding the basic mechanism of axis and pattern formation in case of amphibians, let us discuss about the fertilization. As we know that fish and amphibians both are an amniotes because they doesn't consist the amnion that is the layer around the egg, and that where different gases exchanged during embryonic development. And the external fertilization occur in amphibians, as we know that during mating period these amphibians went into the water bodies and release their egg and sperm that fertilize into the water bodies. And this egg portion of the amphibians consist two poles or two ends. We call them vegetal means the vegetative part, means that has the capacity to feed. So the vegetative end has dense cytoplasm, that is the this part is vegetal end or vegetal pole, and this part is animal pole that consists little yolk. So the point of sperm entry in case of amphibians here determine the ventral part, and the opposite part of this point of sperm entry is known as gray crescent. So the point from which sperm enters, that point is ventral end, and 180-degree opposite to it, this point is the dorsal end, and it result in the formation of gray crescent. So how does this gray crescent is actually formed? Actually, what happened when sperm enters into the egg, the sperm centriole organizes the microtubules. As you can see, this is a microtubule, so it organizes here. As we can see, this is the organization of microtubules. So sperm centriole organize the microtubule of the egg into parallel tracks. As we can see, this is a parallel track. So parallel track in the vegetal cytoplasm, it separates the outer cortical cytoplasm. Our outer As we can see, this is the cortical cytoplasm, so it separate the outer cortical cytoplasm from the yolky internal cytoplasm. Another one, that is the internal one, is the yolky cytoplasm. So outer cortical cytoplasm is separated from the yolky internal cytoplasm. Due to this separation, a rotation of about 30-degree occur, and with respect to the internal cytoplasm, that is the yolky cytoplasm. So this expose a region of gray colored that is known as gray crescent. Here gastrulation began, and so it began so we can say that gastrulation began on the dorsal portion of the embryo. Next is the specification of germs layer. In any amphibians, animal hemisphere blastomer, the animal pole that after cleavage result in the formation of blastomer cells. So animal hemisphere blastomer result in the formation of ectoderm that consist skin and nerve cells, and vegetal hemisphere result in the formation of gut and endoderm. Equatorial cells result in the formation of mesoderms, then that will further result in the formation of bone, muscles and heart. And this formation of endoderm, mesoderm and ectoderm is caused by vegetal cells. And what is the function of these vegetal cells? These cells result into differentiation of different cells into endodermal cells, and it induce the cells immediately above the vegetal cells to form them or convert them into mesoderms. So how does this specification is occurred? This is occurred by an mRNA. This mRNA is tethered to the vegetal cortex. Cortex is the outer part of the vegetal cytoplasmic part or vegetal part of the embryo. So this mRNA will code a transcription factor, that is VAST. This VAST has function to generate endoderm and mesoderms. So how does this generate endoderm and mesoderm? This VAST protein, that is the byproduct of VAST, in code SOX17, that is another transcription factor. It has a function to specify genes that are critical for the formation of endodermal layer, and these proteins that are formed from VAST also activate nodal paracrine factors. These nodal paracrine factors are present in nascent endoderms or the newly formed endoderms. They instruct cells above from these nascent endoderms dermal cells to become them into mesodermal part or mesodermal layer. How they instruct them? Them whom they instruct the cells above them to accumulate phosphorylated SMAD2, and this SMAD2 has a function that activate the eomesodermin and brachyury, that is XBRA gene, and these XBRA or brachyury and eomesodermin, these genes specify the cells into mesodermal layer. Here eomesodermin and SMAD2 activate 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 the zygotic gene for the Westg protein, and it create a positive feed forward loop that will sustain the mesodermal layer. And another mRNA, that is VG1 mRNA, that is stored in vegetal cytoplasm. That vegetal cytoplasm has a capability to rapidly divide and result in the formation of multi-blastomer states. So this VG1 mRNA will translate and result in the formation of protein product. This protein product has a similar mechanism of action that so we call them a nodal like protein. So this nodal like protein has a function to activate genes in the dorsal mesoderms, and if this VG1 and nodal like protein will be blocked, so no mesodermal induction will occur. So we are clear from this that this nodal and VG1 has a mechanism of induction that result in the formation of mesoderms. So this vegetal cells specified into endoderm by transcription factor, that is SOX70, and equatorial cells specified into mesoderm by eomesodermin, and animal cap is specified into endoderms. Next is dorsal ventral and anterior posterior axis formation. Events such as dorsal ventral anterior posterior and left right axis formation is triggered at fertilization, but this is not realized until gastrulation, because the actual formation of these axis is result after gastrulation that occur or that start from the blastopore lip. Anterior posterior axis formation is linked to dorsal ventral axis formation, as we know that the sperm point of entry is create the ventral side or ventral axis, and the opposite 180-degree opposite to the point of sperm entry result in the formation of the dorsal axis. During how does this occur? This is occur by beta catenin. Beta catenin induce expression of certain genes, because this beta catenin is placed opposite the point of sperm entry, or we call that this beta catenin is deposited towards the dorsal axis of the embryo. So this induce the expression of certain genes and initiate the movement of innovulating mesoderms and result in the establishment of anterior posterior mesoderms. The first mesodermal cells to migrate over the dorsal blastopore lip will induce the ectoderm above them to produce anterior structures such as the forebrain mesoderm that involute later will signal the ectoderm to form more posterior structure such as hindbrain and spinal cord. So this process whereby the central nervous system forms through interaction with the underlying mesoderm has been called primary embryonic induction. So this was all about the introductory part. In the next part of my video, I am going to discuss about the organizers that result in the formation of axis in case of amphibians, and I will discuss the molecular mechanism of the formation of this axis in case of amphibians. So if you like my video, then please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.